Hi friends, David here from Learn Christmas Lighting, and today, as it shows here on the screen, we are diving into xLights, and this is something we do every year for a couple of reasons, okay? Number one is for people, especially people who are new to the hobby, or maybe you haven't touched xLights or kind of picked up your xLights in, about a year since displays ended. Okay, I guess that's only 6 months. But regardless, it's always good to have a refresher course. And if you're brand new to Christmas lighting, what we do here is we help people, especially beginners, but really everybody, make an amazing animated Christmas light show on your house or business or wherever you are. Okay. And the biggest tool that we probably use that facilitates that is xLights. FPP is another one, which comes second. They work together. But for right now, we're talking xLights. Okay. So xLights is the software that you use to make the lights flash to the music on your house. Okay. It's an amazing piece of software. And the biggest reason why we redo our videos every single year, and we're, I believe, the only place that does that, is not only here, but also in our courses, which we'll talk about a little bit later, is that xLights is an incredible piece of software with a really active developers, and it changes a lot each year. Like there's a lot of things that are new, a lot of things that get easier, things that change, that move around. And if you're brand new to it, you really want to see something that represents what you're actually seeing when you're first learning, right? So xLights, boom. First thing to do to get started is go to xlights.org. Then right over here, you hit download page. This is how you get xLights. Okay. Now xLights runs on Windows. I'm here in Windows today. It also runs on Mac. It also runs on Linux, so you can get it no matter what you run. Okay, it's not going to run on your Chromebook because it requires a fair amount of resources of a computer that a Chromebook just doesn't have. When you download and install xLights, there's really two installers, and that's where we're going to start first, okay? The first is the actual Windows installer or Mac or what have you. And then we need to go ahead and also install the QMVamp plugins, okay? On Mac, it walks you through the setup here. And honestly, I'm not sure how you get the QMVamp on Mac. I'm sure there's a way, and it's not all that difficult. But the QMVamp plugins allow you to detect the beat of the song and basically set up the beats in xLights, which is really important to do. So you want to install both of those, okay? And then at the very last step of installation, this is what you'll see, okay? You'll see the option to view the README. If you're brand new to this, just uncheck that. The point of the README is to show you what changes have been made recently, to read through those. And that's cool if you've been around, or if you've used xLights before, you want to see the changes. Awesome. I'm going to do that now. The second is to launch it. We definitely want to do that. Okay. And then we're going to talk about what happens when you first launch xLights. Okay. If you have never launched xLights before, just like I'm doing, not really doing here, but if you just launched it, you've never launched xLights before, the first thing you will get is a pop-up that didn't come up for me because I've used and launched xLights before. And that pop-up says, hey, we need a show folder. You need to create a show folder. Now, in xLights, the show folder is actually really important. It's where all of the little files sit that make up your show. And it's important to keep them together and to put them somewhere important. Some people put them in their documents folder on their computer. Other people put them in a service like Dropbox, which tends to work well, though I'm always cautious about cloud syncing active files that I'm working on. Over the course of my life in computing, working with all sorts of different programs, there have been times where I've had issues working with files in something like Dropbox. Occasionally, it can cause issues. And so I recommend keeping it local and saving a backup to Dropbox from time to time. That's my opinion, not essential. Okay, so you'll want to choose that show folder. Give it a name it something like your house, etc. Some people I know are a big fan of not putting the year in the folder name. I kind of like doing it because then I know, hey, this one is the year I created this layout. Maybe next year I copy it and modify it. Maybe I don't, and I know, hey, that was the 2023 layout, for example. Doesn't matter. If you've already launched xLights, it's going to show you your show folder or show directory right here at the top. Okay, so right now I'm in my Halloween directory for this year, which is perfect, but I'm going to just go ahead and hit change permanently. You can change permanently, or the other button was temporarily, which means it will just change until you relaunch the program and it'll go back to your permanent one. I'll go to my documents, create a new folder, and I'm just going to call it, I like to just title it xLights, and then after that, give it a name. So YouTube 2023. Okay. Now we're all on the same page. So when you create a brand new xLights folder, and it's worth noting I'm in Windows 11 on dark mode, so everything looks dark. You may have everything looking light. We're still in the same program. Okay. So let's rock and roll. So the first thing we're really going to do in xLights now that we get started, I'm just going to check my notes for how far we're going to go here, is we want to talk about beginning to set up our show. And the first step of that is creating your layout. Now you may see older videos that are out there, etc., that tell you to do things in this controllers tab first. Just ignore this tab right now. So you have controllers, you have layout, you have sequencer. Okay. What you want to work in right now is layout. Okay. It's really key. Controllers does not matter till you're working with physical lights. Sequencer happens after layout. So I really like the order of layout, sequencer, controllers. You can go layout, controllers, sequencer as well. And to an extent, you kind of have to. But let's talk about that later. So the first thing to do is really begin setting up your show. I like to go first and grab a background image of my house. So I just go and click this little 3 dots here beside background image. In a perfect world, you would save it in your show folder, and I would recommend doing that. In this case, I'm just going here, and boom, there's a picture of my house. This is actually, I think this is from Zillow, from when we bought it. That tree is dead and gone now. I should reshoot this, but I'm also not that concerned. And then we can go ahead and take the transparency. It's at 100%. Oh, sorry, the brightness rather. It's at 100% by default. I'm just going to kick that like way down. Okay. I want to see a shadow of my house, but I don't need it to be bright. Okay. And that's pretty key. But again, you can always change this later. So it's really not critical at all. Next, we're going to start bringing in what we call our models. So with Christmas lights, our models are individual things that we stick into our show. They could be horizontal lines of lights. They could be vertical lines of lights. They could be props where we've pushed pixels into them that have a defined shape and defined order. There's a couple types of models, and I'm just going to add just 1 or 2 of each really quick here for this quick start. Okay, the first are these straight single lines. Okay, these are great for things like my roof line, right? So I create one single line. I go ahead and I create another single line, right? And you see there, it does snap with a little red line to when it's level. So it's important to have your image be level on your house, because then it'll snap to those level lines, which making things that are perfectly horizontal or vertical in real life, do that in xLights as well, really does help your animations to look better. Okay, because there are times where you'll run animations that maybe something's going side to side on a series of lights, and if they're slightly skewed in xLights, even if they're flat in real life, you'll see the image kind of start to stair step along it. Okay, again, not critical, but just one of those things that if you're diligent about it on the front end, it does kind of help you down the road. Okay, straight lines are great. There are other models like trees, for example. So this is great if you have a mega tree or a mini tree. If you're not familiar with those terms, don't worry about it, but just allows you to build something like this real quick. I've got one over here in my display. Actually, it's more like that. And then we have the download models. Okay, so the download models are where if you've gone out to these Coro vendors like Boscoyo Studios, that's my favorite, Gilbert Engineering, there are many others now, you can go create download. So you just click there and then you drag in the space, same process. it starts downloading all the different models, okay? And then you see here, what you're able to do is go ahead and find your exact model. So say I go to Bosco Studio and I have a Decor 22-inch pixel splitter, okay? Then I just find it, I insert the model. Now I've got one here. If I'm doing multiple of these, I'll size it down to size. And I size it to its actual size in real life, drag it to where I want it. And then I'm able to copy and paste just with Control-C, Control-V, or on a Mac, Apple-C, Apple-V, and create more. Now, when I create more than one of an item, just like it did with these single lines, you'll see you get the name itself, just single line, then you get -2, then you get -3. Before you copy any item, you just want to make sure all of the settings are as you want for that item. So for a download, that's usually typically fine. But if you're changing, for example, the type of LED, etc., you'll want to do that first. That's a little deeper than we're going to go in this tutorial, but just be aware of that. So I can copy and paste. And so now I've got a 2. And I do like to just name my first one. Go here to the name field and make it the 1, right? So then, you know, it's in order and I can go often left to right, front to back, and line those up, right? So let's just go ahead, do 4 of those. Actually, in my display for real, I have some snowflakes in that position. I can even select 2 of these. Whoop. Thought it would let me get 2 and move them. Maybe it's not happy about that. I should be able to. In xLights, sometimes you get surprised. You go to do something and then it's like, nope, that's not how that works. Maybe it used to, maybe it didn't, who knows. Okay, so we move those into place. We've got it looking kind of nice. You don't have to aim for perfection at first, because down the road, even, you know, a day into when your display set up, you actually can move things around on here and have it reflected in your show. You would just have to re-render all your sequences, okay? But it's not a huge deal to do that. All right, so where do we go from here? Now we've got our basic models in order to make our show. So we're gonna take a pause here and let you know, if you're brand new to this, there are 4 things I really wish I knew before I began with Christmas lighting. Go grab those over at learnchristmaslighting.com. We've got those guides there. And if you do need stuff for your show, you need lights, you need props, etc., we've got pixels, we've even got controllers, DMX moving heads, all kinds of fun stuff over at learnchristmaslighting.com. Just go to the store link or just go to learnchristmaslightingstore.com directly. Until then, we will see you guys in our next video, where we're going to add in some controllers before we start sequencing. See you there. Thanks.